Hello, welcome. DJ Vic Vapor with you. Logic Pro 10.4. What's new and improved? Well, let's take a look. I've got a couple simple loops here. And the first thing we're going to look at is the EQs. So there's 3 new EQs. So let's go over here to the audio channel where I've got a loop. And let's grab one of those guys. All right, so we've got the Vintage EQ collection. Console, graphic, and tube. So we'll take a look at console first. Stereo. And there it is in all its glory. And we will solo the drums. You know what? Maybe. Yeah, it's good enough. Anyhow, so this is the on-off or bypass switch. I'm just going to go through it real quick. I mean, EQs are EQs, so this is the vintage one. It's what I've noticed when working with it or messing around with it, it does respond a little slow. So let me put some music on and we'll just goof around with it and I'll talk through what's going on here. So we've got our low cut. But you can hear how it responds a little slow. Doesn't make it bad. I mean, it's still a very musical EQ. And it's going to definitely add some character to your productions. So you've got the low gain here. You can hear again, it's a little slow. It's not the video, it's just the way the EQ reacts. All right, so and then you've got the mid gain. And you've got your high gain. You get your low frequency. And what's cool is they're not, if you notice the knobs now, they're not stepped. Previously, you know, it would step through the different, step through. Now it's nice and smooth. So you can get a lot of stuff in between here going on. And then, excuse me, and then we've got over here, of course, the output gain. Pretty straightforward. And then you've got different model characters that are going to be represented throughout the whole vintage EQ collection here. So you've got smooth, silky, more tube-driven and punchy, things of that nature. And then you've got your natural and linear phases if you need to use those in any particular way. And then you've got your overall volume control right here as well. So that is the first one, the vintage console EQ. I'm going to close this guy, and we will open up the next one in this series. Stop the music there. Let's take a look here. Yeah, let's take a look at this one. So I'm pretty sure if you've done some music production or you've worked with different plugins, right away there's no surprise what they're trying to emulate here, which is the Pultec, highly sought after EQ emulation. So they've got 2 EQs in one here though. So you've got the 2 switches as you can see here. And what we've got is a high band or high and mid. That's kind of what we're dealing with here. So let me go ahead and again play some music and let's see what it sounds like. The low boost. It's got some pretty good thud to it. Very smooth, very gentle. You know, good musical quality there. And you've got your high boost, of course. Yeah, it's actually a really good sounding EQ. And of course, as you do your settings, you've got your drive over here. hard you want it to push. And again, we've got the different output models, silky, punchy, smooth. Pretty much, like I said, it carries through all three. And then down here on the bottom, we've got the mid section, low frequency, dip frequency, high peak. Let's turn this guy off. Now you start to hear the difference there. And again, we've got natural and linear for whatever your desire would be, and your overall volumes there. Pretty straightforward stuff. Very good EQ though. Very, very good EQ. All right, so let's see if I can put one on the other one so we don't have to keep hearing the drums all the way through. So what do we got left? Which one did I skip? I skipped the graphic. And the graphic is kind of, I don't know. I'm not sure. I wanted to think maybe it was like a emulation of, I'm not sure. I'm not really worried about what they're trying to emulate, but this is kind of how I remember EQs from back in the day, the console-driven ones for your home stereo or even in your car where you would just set it up, that standard. So what you do is you just count, you got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's 10 bands. So the first 4 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first, I would say 4 is pretty much going to represent your low. And then you get, the couple in the middle here that are kind of the mid, and then everything else on its way out is high, and you can see that represented by your frequency spectrum or your frequency indicators up here. You've got your on and off switch, overall drive, and again, our different options here, and our linear and natural phase. So let's take a listen. I'm just going to play the music here and goof around with it a little bit. So let me unsolo the loops, turn them down. Another slow responding EQ, but like I said, that's not a big drawback for me. It doesn't have to respond too quickly, I guess. Just be aware of that. But still, out of the whole series of EQs there, what's new and improved, they're very musical. All three have very unique flavors and, like I said, extremely musical. So let's move on to looking at some other features they've added for us. I've got some things going on here. Let me check my notes. Let's take a look at some of the multi effects, Phat effects, and step effects in the next tutorial. Thanks, guys.